Clark and the 75th anniversary season of Hayes Larks Baseball. Tonight's Rocky Mountain Baseball League contest is the wrap-up of a two-game series featuring the Colorado Sox and your Hayes Larks. Colorado Sox enter tonight's game at 4-5 in the RMBL, while the Larks are currently 12-2 on the season, 6-1 in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. Free admission to tonight's game has been made possible through the generous sponsorship of Dr. Michael Hatton and Dr. Nicholas Mondero, Family Eye Care, and Downing Nelson Oil Company Incorporated of Hayes. We greatly appreciate these generous people and their support of Hayes Larks Baseball. And now let's meet the starters for your Hayes Larks. Leading off and playing second base from the University of Sioux Falls, number 2, Grant Long. Batting second and catching from Murray State Community College, number 7, Brady Evans. Batting third, the left fielder from Cochise Community College, number 17, Cam Pearson. Tonight's 8th Street Liquor Beverage batter, the cleanup hitter, the right fielder from Fort Hays State University, number 21, Grant Schmidt.
Step on your phone.
Batting fifth, the designated hitter from the University of Texas at Arlington, number 15, Sam Crowell. Batting sixth, playing first base from the University of Oklahoma, number 28, Kate Brown. Batting seventh, the shortstop from the University of Tennessee, number 22, Cortland Lawson. Batting eighth, playing third base from Kansas City Community College, number 4, Palmer Hutchison. And batting ninth for the Larks, a center fielder from East Tennessee State, number 8, Leo Chimian. Tonight making the pitching start for the Larks from the University of Texas at Arlington, 3-1 on the season, number 16, Wyatt Diffus. Ladies and gentlemen, in his 40th season with the Larks, please welcome the head coach, Mr. Frank Leo. Larks pitching coach is Keith Harper. Assistant coach for the Larks is Max McGuire. Please welcome tonight's ceremonial first pitch celebrities. We'd like to welcome Dr. Nicholas Mondero, his wife Katrina, and their sons Skip and Thomas, representing Family Eye Care in Hayes. And representing Downing Nelson Oil Company Incorporated, please welcome Braxton Bonensteel. That's a pretty straight shot. Here comes another one. Straight as a pin. And now please welcome Braxton Bonensteel. Our thanks to tonight's game sponsors, Dr. Michael Hatton and Dr. Nicholas Mondero, Family Eye Care.
Down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! For the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 15 of the 2021 Hayes Larks season, their 75th anniversary season. This is game 2 of a 2-game series against the Colorado Sox. First pitch clocks in at 7:08 p.m. here in Hayes, Kansas. Wyatt Divis getting another start on his season. He comes to this game 3-1. This is appearance number 6 for the righty from UTA. Leading off for the Colorado Sox is Nolan Ackerman, the catcher. Third delivery from Divis in the zone for a called strike. Hayes comes in this one 12-2 in the year. They're 7-1 in league play. They've won 8 of their last 9 games, and they're in first place in the RBL. As for the Sox, they're in 4th place with a 4-6 conference record. 1-2 is the count to Ackerman. Ackerman led off yesterday's game and went 1 for 2, but got on base 3 different times and scored 1 of the 2 runs for the Colorado Sox. 1-2 from Divis, a slider grounded over to the Larks dugout. We'll stay at 1-2. Divis, a 5'10" senior, from UTA, from Lincoln, Nebraska, spent 2 years at Hutchinson Community College before spending 3 years at UTA. This is his 4th summer in a Larks uniform. The 1-2 from Divis, always from the stretch. Slider grounded up to the middle. Cortland Lawson will get to it as it missed Divis' glove. The throw to Cade Brown in time. A ground out 2-6 for Nolan Ackerman, and there's one away, and the bases are empty in the top of the first. rolled all the way to the top of the mound and rolled off. Divis was going to let it slide, snuck his glove down quick, but wasn't able to get to it. But behind him was the Tennessee shortstop. Tyler Sass, the center fielder, will come up to bat with one away. Sass in yesterday's game batted ninth and went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Struck out 2 times against Jake Fitzgibbons. He shows bunt, and they will say he didn't pull back in time. And it was a 21-2 yesterday, 21-2 win yesterday for the Larks. Just dominated against the Sox. Jake Fitzgibbons got the start, went 5 innings, picked up a win. Jose Velasquez and Trevor Munch each pitched 1 inning in relief, and the game was ended halfway through the 7th. Righty versus righty. Davis gets the signs from his catcher. Evans goes home. Slider outside. 2 balls and a strike. This is Davis' 4th start of the season. Has 2 appearances in relief. Has a whip of 1.31. Has struck out 12 batters and walked just 2 through 13 innings pitched. He has 19 and a third innings pitched. That was his league total is 12 strikeouts, but totally on the season has 21 strikeouts and only still 2 walks through 19 and a third. The 2-2 delivery slider will punch out Sass, and he knew it. The 3rd strikeout in 2 days for Tyler Sass. 2 up, 2 down to get the game going for the Colorado Sox. Bring up Roberto Nunez, the shortstop, gave the Larks a lot of trouble when the Larks played the Sox in Colorado, but yesterday drove in 1 run and went 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Hayes won by 19. They scored 19 of their 21 runs and between the 3rd and 5th inning. Nunez 0-1 count with 2 away, bases empty. Davis goes home with fastball in the zone, called strike 2. Davis not wasting time, throwing a lot of strikes.
Return the foul balls to the Larks' nest. They are the property of the Larks.
Davis doesn't walk a lot of guys, but when he's at the plate, draws a lot of walks and is going to get back-to-back batters to go down looking. And Nunez strikes out for the 2nd time in this 2-game series. 1-2-3 first sends us to the bottom half. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned in to Larks Network. Bottom of the first we go. Leading off for Hayes is the ever-steady leadoff second baseman Grant Lung. Gotta have a good approach when you're the leadoff guy, first batter of the day, and no matter what the count is on Lung, he doesn't let it get to him, and has been on base a lot of times this year. comes to this game with an on-base percentage of .460. Takes 2 straight balls from Connor Nankis and is in command of the first at-bat of the bottom of the first inning. Lung in yesterday's ball game had a great day, went 5 for 5, drove in 5 runs, and scored 5 runs himself. Had 2 doubles and 2 home runs. Had a total of 13 total bases. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Lung. Evans on deck with Pearson in the hole for Hayes. Off speed from Nankis outside. Nankis sports the number 9 jersey's a southpaw out of Metro State in Colorado. The payoff pitch to Long, he gets a swing and a miss, and Nankis picks up his first strikeout of the day. The Larks order looks like Grant Lung leading off, and then Brady Evans, the catcher, falls him off. Cam Pearson from Cochise batting third. Grant Schmidt, the cleanup guy. Crowell batting fifth. Brown batting sixth. 7, 8, and 9 are Lawson, Hutchison, and Jaminian. Brady Evans gets his first pitch from Nankis, rips it to left field. Fullerton is at the warning track. It's off the wall, and Brady Evans is going to have a double on one pitch. That ball was well struck. 10 more feet, and it would have been a solo shot for number 7. But instead, he will stand at second, and the Larks have a runner in scoring position.
From Cochise Community College,
We get a courtesy runner in Cord Jackson. Cam Pearson to the dish, the left fielder from Cochise. Cam in yesterday's ball game, 2 for 4, scored a run and drove in 2. Nankis, 2017 grad out of Aurora, Colorado, same area that Larks pitcher Hunter Parker is from, was rated the top overall left-handed pitcher in Colorado in the graduating class and the 13th overall player, was the 154th overall left-handed pitcher nationally, according to Perfect Game. Committed to Washington State, and then went to Pima Community College, where we've seen several Larks come from, such as Tommy Garcia a couple years ago, Christian Parisi a couple years ago, and Michael Wong, who spent a couple years with the Larks as well. Stealing for the Larks is Cord Jackson. He will get safely to the third. The throw was late, but bounces off of the turf anyway. And so Cord Jackson has stayed aggressive on the base paths and picks up stolen base, number 8 on the season in 8 attempts. The 2-0 to Pearson comes a 2-0 count, or 3-0 count. Connor Nankis' father, Kurt, was drafted by the Oakland Athletics and also played collegiate football in Division I. 3-1 count to Pearson. Nankis this last year at Metro State in Denver went 2-0 through 12 appearances, 14 innings pitched, 15 earned runs, 11 walks, and 16 strikeouts on the mound. His first year was 2020 with Metro State. 3.18 ERA, had an opponent batting average of of .146, an elite number for the southpaw. Pearson's going to take this one to opposite field, tagging up his Cord Jackson. Manmano will make the catch. Jackson is sent home, sprints home for 90 feet. The throw is going to be in time, but Nolan Ackerman drops the ball, and Cam Pearson picks up another RBI, and Cord Jackson scores another run. Throw, a good one from Manmano. It was a little shallow to run on, but Cord Jackson and Frank Leo decide to send it, and it was worth the risk. Larks take a 1-0 lead with 2 outs at the bottom of the first with nobody on. For Cam Pearson, he just picked up his team-leading 17th RBI. That's tied with the guy at the plate, Grant Schmidt. And scoring for the 20th time was Cord Jackson. Has benefited a lot from the 12 hits and 5 walks he's had this season to get on base. But has also courtesy run a lot with his speed and scored for guys like Brady Evans like he just did right there. 1 ball and a strike to Grant Schmidt. Nankis takes a deep breath. The southpaw goes from the windup, leaves an off speed, hanging at the letters. Schmidt swings under it and has a 1-2 count. Schmidt is 6'3", redshirt junior from Fort Hays State, has 1 year left with the Tigers of eligibility. He's down the count 1-2 with 2 away. And the delivery home swung on and missed. Nankis strikes out 2 but allows 1 run in the bottom of the first. Hays Larks take a 1-0 lead as we move to the second on Larks Network. Top of the second, Divis back to the mound after a 1-2-3 first. Leading off for the Colorado Sox is Ethan Lands out of York College. He's getting his start at third base today, batting cleanup. First pitch he sees, he sends back to the backstop, has an 0-1 count in his first look at Wyatt Divis. The Sox are the fourth team that Divis has pitched against this season. Should be the 5th team Divis has pitched against this year. Has pitched against the Roughnecks, 2 games against the Saints, 1 against the Cougars, and 1 against the Collegians. 1-1 is the count to Lands. Lands in yesterday's ball game, batted cleanup, went 1 for 3, and had 1 of the 5 total hits for Colorado through their 7 innings at the plate. Colorado finished with 5 hits. Hays had 17, and the Larks won 21-2 in a just dominant outing. A lot of home runs for the Larks, a lot of runners on base, and they just kept the line moving. Divis looks home, lands the third baseman, awaits the 2-2 delivery, swings and miss, and Wyatt Divis has struck out 3 straight Sox. That's number 24 on the mound, number 15 in league play for Wyatt Divis. We'll go to the 5-hole Josh Beatty. Beatty in yesterday's ball game, 1 for 3 and scored half the runs for Colorado. We'll get a good look at Divis's hand. He's in the left-hander's batter's box, but he sees his first delivery. Catch the zone, will miss the zone, 1-0. Trey Adams on deck with Max Fullerton in the hole for the Colorado Sox. Divis goes home, fastball just outside, 2 straight balls to Beatty, the first baseman from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. Larks are 2-1 against the Sox this year and are 1-0 in this homestand against them. Called strike 1, 2 balls and a strike to the 5-hole. This will be the last matchup of the season between the Larks and the Sox. The 2-1 lined at Divis, and just pure reactions right there. Snaps it right in front of his head. A great snag from Divis, saves his face and saves a base runner. Divis has only played the field a few times this year. He's played a lot of action last year in the field, but this year's been mostly a DH. But he shows off the fielding instincts right there and gets his fifth batter out of the day. Top of the second now, 2 away. We go to Trey Adams. He's returning from the Sox roster from last year. He pops this one up over to the right side. Cade Brown, Grant Schmidt, and Grant Lung all chase it. They'll meet up at the foul wall, say something to each other, and head back as it bounced out of play. Larks defensively, we got Cam Pearson in left field, Leo Jiminian in center, Grant Schmidt, the Florida State Tiger, in right field. Cortland Lawson getting his second start at shortstop. Palmer Hutchison in the hot corner, Grant Lung at second base, Cade Brown the Sooner at first, and Brady Evans behind the dish for your Larks. Has an 0-1 count against Divis. His second pitch, fastball just below the knees. 1 ball and a strike. Yesterday's game was just under 2 hours. A speedy one that the Larks dominated in. They've scored in the first inning. They scored 1 run in the first inning yesterday, and they repeat that today. Slider misses outside, 2-1 counts. Do it for the Larks in the bottom of the second inning will be Crow, Brown, and Lawson, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for your Hayes Larks. Davis gets the signs from Evans, who sets up outside, and the slider catches the zone, 2-2. Davis's last outing was on Wednesday, June 23rd, 5 days ago, against the Boulder Collegians. Went 3-1 in relief and picked up his first loss of the season, and the Larks' heartbreaking loss in extra innings. 3 runs scored on him, 2 of them earned, has just 4 total earned runs this season. The 2-2 lined into right center field. Jiminian chases it, but it'll drop and roll to him. A 2-out base hit in the first of the game for the Colorado Sox. Each team now has a hit, and Trey Adams is now 2 for 2 in this series. Was replaced by Wyatt Yarmer in yesterday's game. Yarmer is the guy on deck right now as Fullerton comes to the dish. First base runner for the Sox. Fullerton in yesterday's ballgame batted 7th and went 0 for 3, striking out 2 times. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters, Fullerton, Manmano, and Sass, each struck out 2 times against Jake Fitzgibbons. The Tennessee Volunteer finished his day with 8 strikeouts, 5 hits allowed, and 2 earned runs in his first victory as the Lark. Check over at Adams. He's in plenty safe. Slight wind moving in from center field here in Hays, Kansas. The 1-0 line to left field. Chasing it is Cam Pearson. It's going to drop by him. Running from first to third is Adams. He's in safely. The throw rolls into third base, and it's going to be a double for Max Fullerton. And back-to-back hits against Divis puts 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. It's been a 2-out rally, and the Sox just trying to get something on the board here after struggling and only putting up 2 runs in yesterday's ballgame. Wyatt Yarmer to the dish. He came in and pinch hit for Trey Adams yesterday, and his lone at-bat struck out. Just first look at Wyatt Divis this season. In his first delivery of fastball, he's late on the swing, sends it to his own dugout, 0-1. Adams at third, Fullerton at second for the Colorado Sox. Land struck out, and then Beatty lined one back at Divis, and that had 2 outs, and then a single from Adams and a double from Fullerton starts to create a situation for the Sox. The 0-1 from Divis, high and inside, 1 ball and a strike to the DH. 2-out rally. Yarmer at the dish. Tonight's DH from Western Tech College was originally supposed to be Brady Marino. Starting this game, this one's lined to right field. It's going to drop about 3 feet in foul territory. Wouldn't have been extra bases in a 2-1 lead for the Sox had it been fair. Grant Schmidt was going to get to that one in time, but instead, thankfully, it's a 1-2 count with 2 away. Divis a strike away from ending the inning. Yarmer will get back against the right-hander's batter's box. Back to second, Fullerton. Back to third is Adams. 2 hits in this inning, no runs. The 1-2 delivery from Divis. Has a big slider, and that's not the pitch he uses. Uses a fastball, misses just inside. And the crowd didn't like that call here at Larks Park. Tonight's umpires, Randy Jordan on the base paths, was umpiring yesterday, and Corey Burkhart is tonight's home plate umpire. Burkhart not giving the call to the favor of the Larks fans. 2 away, the 2-2 delivery. Slider, line to right field, is going to drop in front of Schmidt. Scoring will be Adams from third. Fullerton comes home. The throw from Evans was in time, but the throw put him off from home plate. He was right in front of Fullerton when he scored, but he had his back to him because he had to get the ball, and 2 will score. 3 straight hits for Colorado, and Divis, after being so dominant in his first 4 outings, has allowed 4 earned runs in his last 5 innings. Yarmer picks up his first of the season, or series, and brings home Fullerton and Adams for their first runs on this series as well. The 0-1 delivery to Manmano at the bottom of the order, called strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. We got a runner at first in a 2-1 lead for the Colorado Sox. Divis looks home and goes home, gets a late swing from Manmano, the right fielder, out to Mesa State University. And somebody better have some insurance, because Manmano's foul ball went into the parking lot and decked somebody's car. The 0-2 chopped up the middle infield. Grant Lung will get it and tag on second base right before Yarmer slides in. Larks allow 2 runs in the top of the second. We go to the bottom half. Hayes trailing by 1 on Larks Network.
Perfect.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning is Sam Crow, and he takes the first pitch towards his feet and has a 1-0 count. The Sox matched their 2 runs in yesterday's ball game in the top of the second, and they lead by 1 here from North Central Kansas. This one from Sam Crow fouled back into the glove of Nolan Ackerman. The 1-1 delivery from Nankis in his second inning of work runs outside, 2-1 count. Defensively, the Sox line up. We got Fullerton in left field, Sass in center, and then Mano in right field. As for the infield, Lands in the hot corner, Nunez at shortstop, Adams at second, Beatty at first, with Nolan Ackerman behind the dish. The 2-1 delivery swung on and fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the catcher from UTA. Sam yesterday threw at a batter from home from when he was catching. Went 1 for 3 with a run scored and drove in 4 runs. One of those hits was a home run, and today he picks up a single and jogs to first base. The Larks had their second hit of the game, and the tying run is 270 feet from scoring.
University of Oklahoma, number 28, Cade Brown.
They're bringing Cade Brown to this, the first baseman. Batted 5th yesterday. He batted 6th and went 1 for 4. He was one of 12 different Larks to score in yesterday's ball game. The first delivery to Browns takes it to right field, but out of play. 0-1 to the first baseman from the University of Oklahoma. Cade Brown has been one of the guys that summer ball teams and NCAA and NAIA, JUCO teams, all the collegiate teams you can think of, covet. A guy that can get it done on the mound, but is a great defensive player too on the field, and is a great hitter as well. Can do it all, kind of reminiscent of Wyatt Divis. Both having great seasons. This one's going to be grounded back to Nankis, decides to go to second, and Sam Crowley, you can tell he's not 100%, as he will be thrown out by quite a bit. Held up his running, and Cade Brown will reach on a fielder's choice, and I think Sam knows his situation better than anyone, but I just hope the Larks didn't rush him back into action too soon, because he didn't look 100% yesterday. He was taken out early, just like he was in his first game back, but right there, and his run to first didn't look 100%, but he's a smart guy, knows what he's doing, so if he's in the game, I'm sure he was cleared to be there. Cortland Lawson, who had his Larks debut yesterday, was in town for less than 24 hours before the first pitch and had a monster game, had a grand slam and another home run, and had a total of 4 RBIs and drove in 3 runs on 3 hits. Just an absolutely crazy day for the shortstop from the University of Tennessee. That's how you make a debut. And I was talking to Coach Leo after the game and some of the other guys on the team, and just talking about, what a debut for Cortland Lawson. His count here, batting 7th in the order. His first look at Nankis has a 0-1 count, so that becomes an 0-2 count. Lawson sports that number 22 jersey on tonight's Larks white vest with the blue lettering, red trimming, white pants, and the blue sleeves on the top of the vest. 6'2 sophomore from Tennessee awaits his 0-2 delivery. Nankis goes outside, and Lawson will lay off 1-2. Hutchison on deck with Jeminian in the hole for the Hayes Larks. Larks scored 1 in the first inning. Brady Evans doubled. Core Jackson ran for him, stole third. That was his 7th stolen base on the season. And then Cam Pearson hit a sacrifice fly to shallow right field, and the Larks took a 1-0 lead and have scored in a lot of innings. The only inning they didn't score in yesterday's ball game was the 6th, and they didn't bat in the 7th. 2 balls and 2 strikes now is the count to Lawson. 1 away, Cade Brown at first base. Yankis shakes off 2 signs from Ackerman, and will get time before he can throw his 5th pitch to Cortland. Lawson, originally from Virginia, he's the lone guy on the roster, born in Virginia, but is one of 3 volunteers on the roster. Played 13 games for Tennessee this year, and this is game 2 with the Larks. The 2-2 delivery from Nankis swung on and fouled off over to the right side. Good cut, and he will stay alive. Larks looked like they were having BP out there yesterday. 4 different guys had multi-hit games. Pearson and Divis each had 2 hits, and then Lawson had 3, according to the Larks game changer. I'm going to check that because I thought he went with 4 hits. But either way, he had 4 RBIs and drove in 3 runs. And he did. He did go 3 for 4. 4 RBIs and 3 runs scored. Home run in the 2nd inning. A single in the 3rd and a home run in the 4th, and then struck out in the 5th. Wasn't brought back to the plate again. And great at bat for the shortstop, has a full count. We'll get a payoff pitch from the southpaw. Taking off is Brown. The slider misses outside, and Lawson will toss his bat to the dugout and take first base. His first walk as a Lark. Larks' big walk team have a lot of great eyes. That is their 85th walk on the season through 15 games. They bring up Palmer Hutchison. Cade Brown goes to second. 2 on, 1 out in the bottom of the second. Hutchison in yesterday's ball game went 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Every Larks starter scored in that game. And then a couple courtesy runners scored, and Core Jackson. And then Core Jackson came in and replaced Hutchison. And Zach Henry came in relief of Leo Jiminian in center field and scored 2 runs. Bronk Loomis came in relief of Sam Crowell, didn't score. And Dylan Drowley came in relief of Grant Schmitz and didn't score. But 12 different Larks scored yesterday. Because we had somebody run for Sam Crowell as well, and they scored. The 0-1 to Hutchison outside. 1 ball and a strike to tonight's third baseman. The third baseman looking to get another hit on his season. Came in this game with 14 hits, and he grounds this one to the third baseman, but it's left of third base, and it will stay 1-2 and won't pick up hit number 15. Has 14 hits this year through 13 games. Last year he played 28 games and got 16 hits and walked 14 times. He has an OBP of 455. We're going to get on base again. He'll have to protect the plates. He'll get another 1-2 delivery from Nankis. Southpaw goes home versus the Blue Devil, and this one below the knees, a Hutch, 2-2. Larks have worked a lot of counts today in this game. This is the 8th batter of the day for Hayes on 4 outs. Hutchison reaches for this one, grounds it slowly to Nunez. The toss to Ackerman or to Adams in time, and then the throw to Beatty will be in time. A 6-4-3 double play will end the inning. Larks get their leadoff guy on, and then put 2 more on, but won't score anything in the second. We go to the third. Hayes down by 1. This is the first time that the Larks haven't scored in a while. They scored in 6 innings yesterday out of the 6. They scored in every inning except the 6th yesterday, a total of 21 runs in their first 5 innings. And the Larks down by 1 as we move to the third. Top of the third, Wyatt Divis back to the rubber, and he will face at top of the order Nolan Ackerman over on the day with a ground out to Cortland Lawson. His first delivery misses the zone, 1-0 count to the catcher from Central College of Iowa, one of the returners from the Sox roster last year, and has a called strike on him, 1-1. Davis last year on the mound was so dominant for the Larks. Had there been an RMBL awards, he would definitely have been the pitcher of the year. Went 3-0 through 11 appearances. Had the best ERA among starters in the league. Had an ERA of 0.64 through 40 innings, 45 strikeouts, 3 starts, 8 appearances in relief. At the plate, though, he led the team in walks and runs scored, led the entire league in walks as well. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ackerman. Sass on deck with Nunez in the hole for the Sox. Big gap up the middle, and the 2-2 delivery outside on the slider. Digs back into the right-hander's batter's box. Probably see Jackson Blue in relief of Davis, and then Terbeek and Cade Brown. Should the Larks need that? This one's hitting the left center field. Jiminian and Pearson race towards it, and at the last second, Jiminian will call off Pearson. He runs over 100 feet to get that one, and will make a nice catch in left center field, and it'll be allowed out number 1. Ackerman back to dugouts, 0 for 2 after going 1 for 2 yesterday, but got aboard 3 times. Davis has struck out 3 in this game through 2 1/3 and has allowed 2 earned runs. Tyler Sass to the box, 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. That was Davis's first of the day, and number 22 on the season. And takes a first pitch ball, 1-0. Davis in 2019 with the Larks, when the Larks were in the KCLB, did win KCLB Co-Pitcher of the Year. Led the team in wins with 5 of them through 9 appearances, and was a first-team All-League selectee. Made 9 appearances for the Larks, went 5-1 with an ERA of 2.70. Struck out 43 through 40 innings. So 1-1 count to Sass, the center fielder, and gets him to swing ugly at this one. 1 ball and a strike with 1 away and the bases empty in the top of the 3rd. Larks fans, make sure to follow Larks on Twitter and then subscribe on YouTube. It's all free. If you hit the notification bell while you're on YouTube, you'll get a notification on your phone each time we go live for the broadcast this year. The 2-1 or the 1-2 delivery becomes a 2-2 count as it misses low. Nunez on deck with lands in the hole for the Sox. Davis goes home. The 2-2 delivery fouled off. Davis's pitch count right now sits at 45. Has thrown 28 strikes has thrown 62% of his pitches in the zone. So allowed 3 hits, 2 earned runs, and struck out 3. No walks, and he'll pick up strikeout number 4 right there, number 25 on his season. And there's 2 up and 2 down in the 3rd inning. Sass down strike for the 2nd time today. And on this series, that is the 4th time he struck out, is now 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. That'll bring up Roberto Nunez, who on this series is 1 for 4, striking out looking to end the top of the 1st inning. The 1 through 5 in the order for the Colorado Sox today, a combined 0 for 7. 1-0 reads the scoreboard here. The 2nd delivery is slider outside, 2 balls and no strikes. 2 away, bases empty. The 2-0 popped down a play to the back over the grandstand and out of the park. Larks in the bottom of this inning, it'll look like Leo Jiminian at the bottom of the order to lead it off. Then we'll go to the top of the order for Lung and Evans. And then Pearson after that, should Hayes put a runner aboard. This one's popped over to the right side. Cade Brown watches it drop into the bullpen. The Sox will have a 2-2 count. Brock Loomis gets some new baseballs on the field. And Davis will get set and awaits Nunez to get in the box. Nunez out of Western Tech College has been an infielder for the Sox this year and will strike out for the 2nd time today. That's number 2 in the inning. And Davis has a 1-2-3 inning in the 1st and the 3rd against the 1 through 3. Picks up strikeout number 26 on the season and sends us to the bottom of the 3rd. Hayes down by 1. Bottom of the third, Leo Jiminian at the bottom of the order will lead it off. Shows bunt and pops it back on his first delivery from Connor Nankis in his third inning of work. Lawrence silent in the second inning after scoring one run on a hit in the first. Larks have 2 hits on the day, have left 1 runner on, have 1 walk and 1 double play offensively. This one at Leo Jiminian's shins. He dodges it, jumping up and has a 1-1 count. Bottom of the screen, slider. Please be sure to subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell. We're close to our 1,000 subscriber goal. We've been pushing it for the 3 years I've been on the broadcast. We've gone up around 100 subscribers in the past 20 days, but if you're sick of hearing this ad, as I am of hearing myself say it, tell a friend and let's get to that goal so we can start streaming the games on our website. 1-2 to Jiminian. Nankis shakes off a sign from Ackerman. And we'll go from the windup. Gets a swing and a miss from Jiminian. And the drop, third strike. The appeal to Beatty will be in time. And Nankis picks up his third strikeout of the day. We'll bring up the top of the order, Grant Lung.
Second baseman, number 2, Grant Lung.
1 away, bases empty for Grant Lung. Evans on deck with Pearson in the hole. Grant Lung started off the bottom of the first, striking out, looking. First delivered to him on speed inside part of the plate. Called strike on tonight's second baseman. Lung has played in 12, actually now 13 of the Larks' 15 games. Since this went off the inside of his bat, it's going to drop perfectly in right center field. Drops in the triangle man, Mono Adams and Sass, and he couldn't have placed it better on a bloop single for Grant Lung. His first of the day after going 5 for 5 yesterday. Has 6 hits in this series and is 6 for 7 at the plate. As Brady Evans comes to dish, he doubled in the first inning, and then Cord Jackson ran for him and scored on the sacrifice fly from Cam Pearson. That is Grant Lung's 18th single this 18th hit this year, his 11th single. He's batting .333 with an OBP over .460, and those numbers have jumped up thanks to his performance yesterday. The 0-0 to Evans outside, 1-0 to the catcher from Murray State College. Evans comes in this game batting .333 just like Grant Lung. OBP of .486 and has an OPS of 1.04. Anytime you have an OPS above 1, that is elite. Crowell, Kavanaugh, Divis, Pearson, Schmidt, Dreiling, Lung, Evans, and Palmer each have an OPS above 1, along with Cortland Lawson, who in his one game had an OPS of 3. That was a ridiculous day for him yesterday at the plate. Was just having BP out there at the plate. 2-1 is the count to Evans. Long at second base. Hasn't attempted a ton of stolen bases this year. Or actually, hasn't attempted any. 2-1 delivered to Evans. Grounded to second baseman Adams will try Nunez at shortstop, and the throw will get Grant Lung out, but the throw to first for the second time today, this time on a fielder's choice. Two-away, Cord Jackson will run for Brady Evans, and Cam Pearson will come to this. Pearson 0 for on the day with a sacrifice fly and has an RBI. Cord Jackson on the base paths. Stole his 8th base. Stat correction there. Stole his 8th base. Said 7 earlier. He's 8 for 8 on the year. 2 away. The first delivered to Pearson. Inside, off the glove of Ackerman. Cord Jackson was running anyway and steals his 9th base of the season on the first pitch. And he's in scoring position with 2 away, and Pearson has a 1-0 count. Larks down 2-1 here in the bottom of the third. 2 outs. Runner at second. Good crowd here tonight, especially for it being a Sunday night at Larks Park. Not as many here as there were last night. Still several hundred people. The 1-0 to Pearson. caught the outside corner, 1 ball and a strike. Tonight's left fielder getting a second straight start in left field after getting all of the starts in the infield to start the season. Pearson has played in 15 of the 15 Larks games along with Core Jackson, Leo Jiminian, and Zach Henry. Check over at Core Jackson, and he will be in safely. Slides just under the tag. Adams applied it and started to run to the dugout. They thought they had Jackson. Jackson had a big lead and was a little slow getting back to second, but the inning will continue. Bases umpire Randy Jordan said he got under the tag. 1 ball and a strike to Cam Pearson. Nankis looks at Jackson, who doesn't change his lead here in the 1-1. Grounded to Adams. Feels it at his knee and will throw to Beatty. Larks get a runner on with 1 out, and then Evans reaches on a fielder's choice. And the Larks put 2 on but don't score any and leave another runner on base. We go to the 4th inning. Hayes down by 1 on Larks Network. Top of the 4th, Wyatt Davis back to the mound, got a 1-2-3 third. It was his second of the day. Struck out 2 batters and has 5 on the day. Lance will lead it off. He struck out looking to start the the top of the second. The inning that the Sox scored their 2 runs. They're up 2-1 against the Larks here, and Lance has an 0-2 count quick against Davis. Davis throws right-handed but hits left-handed. The Nebraska native in his career at UTA has made 32 appearances on the mound and has a 6-0 record and will strike out his 6th batter of the game. Lands now 0-2. Davis has struck out 3 in a row, and the 2, 3, and 4 hitters have each struck out 2 times in their 2 appearances against Davis, kind of reminiscent of the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in yesterday's game. Against Jake Fitzgibbons, they each went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. 1-0 is the count to Beatty, who lined out at Davis's face, and Davis just moved the glove in time to grab the ball and record out number 2 of the second inning. And then a 2-out rally from the Sox had 3 hits, and they scored 2 runs. This one's popped up over the left side of the infield. Cortland Lawson moves in from the brown turf to the green turf and will make the catch for out number 2. 6 straight Sox have been retired, and there's a quick 2 outs in the top of the 4th. That'll bring up Trey Adams, 1 for on the day with a single and a run scored. This delivery inside, 1-0. Going to line this one into right center field and will pick up his second 2-out single on the day. And the Larks will look to not let the 2-out rally happen like they did in the second inning. Now Adams is 3 for 3 in this series with 3 singles. Takes us to the 7th guy in the order, Fullerton. He doubled in the 2nd inning and then came around to score on Yarmer's single. Davis looks over his shoulder at Adams and will go home from the stretch. First delivery grounded to Grant Long, fields it between his legs and will toss it sidearm to Brown, and the Larks escape a 2-out runner at first. We go to the bottom half. Hayes down by 1 on Larks Network. Grant Schmidt will lead off the bottom of the 4th for Hayes. The first pitch from Connor Nankis. He sees he will line back and have an 0-1 count. Bullpen's quiet here through the first 4 innings. And the Larks and Sox both comfortable with the guys they have on the mound. Schmidt on the day 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first inning. Skies this one to right field. It's in foul territory. And Manmano will watch it go out of play and return back to his spot in right field. No balls and 2 strikes to the Fort Hays State Tiger, who started out his season on a tear and yesterday went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored in that 21-2 victory for Hayes. The 0-2 to Schmidt just outside on a slider, 1-2. Schmidt this season leads the team in home runs. Has had 6 of the Larks' 24 home runs, has a quarter of Hayes' home runs, has 20 hits and 56 at-bats. Swings at the 1-2 and fouls it off himself, and will stay 1-2 and get a 5th pitch. Nankis has now thrown 51 pitches, 32 of those strikes, has 2 groundouts and 1 flat on the mound, and has started out his 8 of his first 12 batters with a first pitch strike. 1 earned run, 3 hits allowed, 3 strikeouts, and a walk for Nankis. The 1-2 again lined to Frank Leo at the third base coach's spot, and will stay 1-2 and get a third 1-2 delivery. Crowd on deck with Brown in the hole for Hayes. The 1-2 delivery is going to be skied into shallow center field. Sass looks up, moves in about 15 feet, and will record the catch. Out number 1, Larks have their leadoff runner aboard in innings number 2 and 3 and have a leadoff out in innings 1 and 4. Sam Corral will come to the dish. He's 1 for on the day with a single. Was out at second when Brown reached on a fielder's choice. As one of the 4 Larks hits today. one of the Larks' 3 hits today. 0-1 is the count to the catcher from UTA. He's the only UTA Maverick in the batting orders today. The other Maverick on the mound, Wyatt Divis, and then we'll see another UTA pitcher, Jackson Blue, come in after Divis's day. One ball and a strike to Sam Crow. Getting some time at DH allows him to rest that hamstring after injuring it against the Colorado Sox on that Saturday game that the Larks lost 8-9. And then after that, the Larks won 7 straight games before losing to the Boulder Collegians in 12 innings. 11 innings. Slider caught the outside part of the plate, and Corral has a 2-2 count. Sox, 4th place in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. Larks are in first place, a half game ahead of the Fort Collins Sox. And a 2-2 delivery from Nankis in this Rocky Mountain Baseball League action will miss outside, and Corral has a full count. Corral homered in yesterday's game, was one of 4 home runs in the game for Hayes. One of 5, actually. Lawson and Lung each had 2. His payoff pitch, a fastball outside, and he will be aboard on a walk for the 7th time this year. His 7th walk, has been aboard on 9 hits as well. So they bring Cade Brown to the dish. Brown reached on the fielder's choice in the second, got to second base, and then when he advanced to third, there was a 6-4-3 double play that ended the inning. Cortland Lawson on deck with Hutchison in the hole for Hayes. The first delivery to Brown, Slider over the outside part of the plate. Hankis looks over at St. Crown with a very small lead at first and delivers outside into the left-hander's batter's box against Cade Brown. Brown was used mostly as a pitcher in his collegiate games at San Diego, made 19 appearances on the mound, and an opponent batting average of .305, but this year for the Larks, his batting average at the plate sits at .310. His 1-1 delivery inside corner, a called strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 away runner at first. In the bottom of the 4th, Hayes down 2-1. Outfield shifts a little bit towards the left field side. And the 1-2 to Cade Brown, the first baseman from OU, swung on and fouled off. And Brown will stay alive. Brown, the only Larks player from the Big 12. This is the Larks' 2nd year in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. They won the league last year in their first and only year in it. And returned this year in first place again. They went 20-8 in league play last year and went 22-10. 1 ball and 2 strikes is what the count stays. Corral small lead at first. The 1-2 home again. Brown early and has worked a great AB here. Larks' great 2-strike approach all season. Brown no different in this AB. Nankis shakes off 2 signs, shaking on a lot of Ackerman signs behind the plate tonight. 1-2 again. Inside corner, says the home plate umpire, Corey Burkhart, and Cade Brown will go back to the dugouts, now 0-for-2. 4th strikeout of the game for Connor Nankis on the mound. That'll bring up Cortland Lawson, who walked in the 2nd inning. Comes up with Jay-Z playing his walk-up song. Great choice for the shortstop. First delivered to Lawson. He's swinging and sends it to the Larks dugouts. Wind picking up. Started off with just a tiny bit of wind moving in from center field, and now it's picking up, blowing in harder from center field. Still a beautiful evening, just around 80 degrees here in Hays, Kansas. and a great turnout from the Larks fans at Larks Park. Second delivery to Lawson, outside on the breaking pitch, 1 ball and a strike. Larks have been silent in the past 2 innings after only being silent in 1 inning yesterday. The 1-1 sent down the left field line and will hit the Larks bullpen. Well struck, but out of play. On deck for Hayes is Hutchison should the Larks need him. As for the Sox in the 5th inning, it'll be Yarmer and Manmano 8 and 9, and then Ackerman at the top of the order, due up. Nankis gives a long look to Crowell, looks at him again, goes home, misses inside to Lawson. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the shortstop from Tennessee. Davis will be back to the mound for inning number 5. Has struck out 6 batters in his 4 innings on the mound. The 2-2 to Lawson, outside, full counts. Nankis thought he had it. Another full count for the Larks, who have worked Nankis' pitch count high. Through 3 2/3, this will be his 70th pitch. The payoff pitch, grounded down the left field line and foul. Cade Brown worked a long AB right before this, and Sam Crowell had a long AB for a walk in the 4th inning. Nankis has thrown 71 pitches. Well, this will be number 71, has thrown 44 strikes. Payoff pitch number 2 will miss the zone off the turf, and Cortland Lawson will be aboard for a second time today. 2 quality ABs and 2 walks on the day. And moving to second is Sam Crowell.
The third baseman, Palmer Hutchison.
Coming to the box now, Hutchison 0-for on the day with a double play in the second that ended the inning. That's the second walk of the inning for Nankis, who walked Sam Crowell, who's at second base. 2 on, 2 outs. In the bottom of the 4th, Hayes down 2-1. Nankis looks home. The first delivery to Hutchison early on the swing and sends it to Frank Leo. No balls and a strike to Hutch. Hutchison played for his third base coach, Frank Leo, at Hayes High School. Spent 4 years on the team, along with his pitching coach, Keith Harper. Harper and Frank Leo were head coach and assistant coach of the Hayes High Indians for almost 4 decades. Hutchison in high school is a 2-time All-WAC selectee for the first team and was a 2019 Sports in Kansas 5A second team All-State selectee. The 0-1 misses outside, 1 ball and a strike with 2 away. Umpire shows a 2-1 count. And this one will miss outside. Hitter's count for Palmer Hutchison. Larks going for the sweep tonight in the 2-game series. They got to make up another run. Jimenian on deck if Hutchison can keep this inning alive. Looking to non-walk his third batter of the inning is Nankis. He throws home, gets a swing and a miss out of Hutchison. And we'll get our third 3-2 counts of the inning. He looks on for a long time, takes a lot of time between pitches, and will throw the payoff pitch. It's swung on and fouled off. Runners taken off, and they'll go back to first. Lawson back to first, Crowell back to second. And we'll get a second payoff pitch to Palmer Hutchison. Nankis has now thrown 77 pitches on the day. Started off 75% of the batters he faced with the first pitch strike. Payoff pitch number 2, runners taken off, and will retreat again. So We'll get a third payoff pitch. This will be an 8-pitch at bat for Palmer Hutchison. Nankis looks home to southpaw, goes from the stretch, runners take off, and Hutchison will walk on 8 pitches. Another great at bat for the Larks here. And what the question of the day is, what will they do with this opportunity? They have the bases loaded, but 2 outs to the bottom of the order, Leo Jiminian. Lawson goes to second, Crown to third, and Palmer Hutchison picks up his 9th walk of the season and 57 plate appearances. Jiminian on the day 0 for 1 with the strikeouts. His first delivery over the outside part of the plate, a called strike 1. He shakes his head to throw back to Nankis. Wild of him. Maybe could have scored ground from third, had it rolled into the outfield, but instead Nankis lunges for it and will secure the ball and have an 0-1 count against Jiminian. Bases loaded, the 0-1 delivery with 2 away, fouled off, and they will say, I'm not sure if they say that they fouled it off, but the runners pull up. Sam Crowell, who hasn't been running super hard the past couple of days after having a hamstring injury, held up, running in from third. Cortland Lawson goes back to second, and Palmer Hutchison goes back to first, and we'll have an 0-2 count to Jiminian. Big situation for the Larks. They're going to regret it if they don't get something here. The bases are loaded for the first time today. They've never had more than 2 guys on. Had 1 guy on in the first. They scored 1 run, had 2 guys on in the second, and nobody scored. And then now bases loaded. This one's skied to center field. Sass moves in after moving back and will record out number 3. One center fielder flies out to another one. Larks bring 6 hitters to the plate, get 3 walks, but leave the bases loaded. We go to the 5th inning. Hayes down 2-1. After leading the bases loaded in the 4th inning, the Larks will look to not allow the Snarks to get anything here in the 5th inning. First delivery here to Wyatt Yarmer, the DH, a called strike on a slider. This is Divis's 5th inning of work, no sign from any relief. And this one's going to be lined in left field. Moving in is Cam Pearson, but Cortland Lawson will make a great catch on a lunge and a jump and save a single and maybe a double for the Larks. Great catch from Cortland Lawson, who has shown out in his first 2 games as a Lark.
The right fielder, number 22, Gene Manmano.
Takes us to the bottom of the order. Ken Manmano, 0 for the day, grounding out to end the top of the 2nd inning. His second look at Divis. Check swing, but it won't matter. It's an 0-1 count. On deck is the top of the order, Ackerman with Sass in the hole for the Sox. The 0-1 delivery swung on a miss off one that hit the plates, 0-2. Manmano in yesterday's ball game batted 8th and went 0 for 2, striking out 2 times. 7, 8, 9 hitters each went 0 for 2 against the starter Fitzgibbons with 2 strikeouts. Yesterday was a dominant game for Hayes, but they're not looking the same way tonight. They have a 1-2 count. And we get a pause here. Brady Evans took one right there, and Divis will go back to the mound. Has a 1-2 count against Manmano, the right fielder. Manmano from Mesa State University will get his 4th pitch from Divis right here. Divis goes home. It's a slider and a beautiful one. He picks up his 7th strikeout on the day, number 28 on the season, through 23, now 24 innings on the mound. That is the 4th batter he's got to go down looking, as his 3 other strikeouts swinging. For Wyatt Divis, that is a season high for strikeouts in a game, surpassing his effort against the Denver Cougars when he threw 6 innings and 6 strikeouts on Friday, June 18th. This one we popped over the right side and secured by Cade Brown. Wyatt Divis's 3rd 1-2-3 inning of the day and his 4th scoreless inning, and the Larks will take a 1-run deficit to the bottom half of the 5th. Bottom of the 5th, Grant Lung will lead it off for Hayes. Lung on the day, 1 for 2 with a blooper into right center field in the 3rd inning after striking out in the 1st inning. Nankis returns to the mound, has struck out 4 and allowed 3 hits through his first 4 innings. Gets a foul ball out of Lung here and has a quick 0-2 counts. Nankis has pitched for 3 different colleges, and his most recent year made 12 appearances. This one is going to be grounded up the middle, and a great throw from the left side of the infield will get Grant Lung out. Now hustling down 90 feet, and Lung is now 1 for 3 today. A tough defensive play, but the Sox made it happen. Great throw from Nankis, makes it 1 away as we go to Brady Evans. Went aboard 2 times today off a double, and then he reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd. He's responsible for the lone run of the day as Cord Jackson came into courtesy run for him and scored. 1-0 is the count on Evans after this one misses inside and low. And Nankis' 2-year career on the mound for Mesa State for the Roadrunners. 21 appearances, an ERA of 6.75. Evans is going to ground this one right to Nunez, and there is 2 up, 2 down to start the 5th inning. Takes us to the 3-hole. Pearson 0 from the day with a ground out and a sacrifice fly with an RBI. Nankis pitched against Grant Schmidt this year through 4 innings in a win for the Metro State Roadrunners against Fort Hays State through 4 innings, 3 earned runs, walked 1 and struck out 7. Grant Schmidt is the guy on deck as Cam Pearson comes to the dish. Two balls and no strikes is the count. Hunter Parker also threw in that game, so there's 3 guys on the field that played on that early February game between the Roadrunners and the Tigers. 2 balls and a strike now is the count to Cam Pearson. Pearson starting his day with 2 outs, but has an RBI after having 2 hits and 2 RBIs in yesterday's ball game. Talented utility guy, can play 8 positions on the field out there. Never seen him pitch, but I have seen him play every infield position, and I've seen him in the outfield, and I've seen him catch 1 inning. The 3-1 delivery to Pearson off speed, the breaking pitch outside, and he has a full count. Larks have worked a lot of full counts today, and have worked Nankis' pitch count up. Nankis has now thrown 92 pitches. The payoff pitch inside, and Pearson reaches in, pulls his hands in, and fouls it down the left field line. We'll get a second payoff pitch and a 7-pitch AB for the left fielder from Cochise. The payoff pitch swung on a miss, and Pearson will go down on 7 pitches. That's the 5th strikeout of the day for Connor Nankis. Has his first 1-2-3 inning, and the Larks will go to the 6th, down 2-1 against the Colorado Sox. Top of the 6th we go from Hays, Kansas. Leading off is Tyler Sass, the 2-hole, the center fielder, 0 for 2 in the day against Wyatt Divis. And he takes a first pitch slider in the zone for a called strike. Got a guy up and moving in the pen, and another guy stretching. I believe that is Jackson Blue warming up, and that is who is due up anyway after Divis for the day. The 0-1 delivery from Divis in his 6th inning of work is grounded to Cortland Lawson, fields it and throws to Cade Brown. The 2nd ground of the day to Cortland Lawson, and the Larks have their first out of the 6th inning. Larks in yesterday's ballgame put up 21 runs in their first 5 innings at the plate, and in this one have been silenced in the past 4 innings after picking up 1 run in the first. They have just 3 hits. They had multiple guys have more than 3 hits in yesterday's ballgame, but as a team collectively, not having their way early. Swing and a miss, 0-1 count with 1 away to Roberto Nunez, 0 for 2 in the day with 2 strikeouts. 2, 3, and 4 hitters each have 2 strikeouts in their 2 ABs. He swings and misses at this one and has a quick 0-2 count. Divis in a groove here has retired 5 straight Sox. The 0-2 delivery, slider, another one that looks like it's going to hit the batter and then slides halfway across the plate and ends up right down the middle. And Nunez looks up to the sky frustrated and heads back to dugouts. Is now 0 for 3, and Divis gives him a hat trick. And he has 3 strikeouts, 2 looking, 1 swinging. And Divis now has punched out 8 batters and has now 29 punch-outs on the year. 2 outs, and this one's popped over to Cade Brown, rolls over to the foul wall, and it'll bounce 5 feet over the wall in foul territory. Larks fans, make sure to follow Larks on Twitter at HayesLarksBB, and follow Larks on Facebook at The Hayes Larks, and subscribe on YouTube, and you'll stay up to date with all things Larks baseball all summer long. The 0-1 from Divis, sun peeking out from the partly cloudy sky, shining in the left field side and in the eyes of the guys on that side. And Divis has another 0-2 count against Ethan Lands. Lands on the day 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking. In the second and fourth inning was Divis' 3rd strikeout victim of the day, and he was the 6th strikeout victim of the day. He's trying not to be number 9. This slider won't get him out. It runs outside, and Divis has a 1-2 count. Do it for the Larks in the bottom of the 6th inning will be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, the heart of the order, Schmidt, Corral, and Brown. The 1-2 grounded over to the first base coach, Brooks Urich. So we'll stay 1-2, and Divis will throw a 5th pitch right here. He looks home and goes home. It's a fastball swung on a miss, and Divis gets back-to-back strikeouts. That is number 30 on the season and gives back-to-back guys a hat trick. 6 strikeouts combined for Nunez and Lands, 3 each. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Larks looking to carry this momentum and put some runs on the board. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned in to Larks Network.
For the Larks, the right fielder, Grant Schmidt.
Bottom of the 6th, Grant Schmidt will lead it off. This is his 3rd plate appearance of the day. He's 0 for 2. Connor Nankes returns to the mound for his 2nd inning of work and misses the zone on his first pitch to Schmidt. Connor Nankes picked up the win against the Fort Hays State Tigers in his lone appearance pitching. Hunter Parker got the start and went 3 innings for Fort Hays. Jacob Enns, who pitched for the Larks last year, picked up the loss for the Larks. The guy at the plate, Grant Schmidt, had a great game for Hays. Went 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored and drove in 2 runs and is getting a reunion against Connor Nankes in this game. And he has 3 straight balls to him. And Schmidt in command of this AB, trying to get aboard to lead off the inning. Larks have 3 leadoff runners today, but they haven't scored in any of those innings. Pitch number 4, fastball right down the middle, and he's taken all the way. He has a 3-1 count. Jackson Blue still warming up in the pen. I don't know if the Larks want to bring him in for the 7th after seeing how well Divis just did in the 6th inning. And this will be a called ball. And Grant Schmidt is aboard for the first time today, and the Larks have another walk. For Connor Nankes, that is his 5th walk allowed. And there's a runner at first with nobody out, and Grant Schmidt can move. Keith Harper moves down to the pin and is down there for Jackson Blue to see how he's doing and chats with him, and I think we'll see him for the 7th inning. For Grant Schmidt, that is his 4th walk of the season. He has still gotten aboard 20 times off of hits. The first pitch to Sam Corral, who's 1 for 1 on the day with a walk and a single, misses the zone. 1-0 Larks trying to rally here and get back in front. They took a 1-run lead to the second, and then the Sox scored 2, and that's the way the score has sat for the past 5 innings. The second delivery to Sam Corral, late on the swing, 1 ball and a strike to the DH from UTA. And Brown on deck with Lawson in the hole. This delivery swung on and swinging above, and there's a 1-2 count to Sam Corral. Corral been back for about a week. Nankus looks in and will deliver his 4th pitch to Sam Corral. Grant Schmidt with the big lead at first has drawn the attention of Nankus, gives him a long look, and will check over, and Grant Schmidt got him to do exactly what he wanted him to do. So we'll go 1-2 again, and now he's got the attention of Nankus, and Nankus knows who's there, but needs to focus on Corral. Corral, a dangerous hitter, has taken 3 pitchers long this year and taken them yard. Nankus goes home on this delivery, the 1-2 outside, and a good take from Corral makes it a 2-2 count. Larks have 3 hits. Each of them were in the first. One in the first, second, and third inning, and the Larks haven't gotten a hit since then. Sam Corral will send this one to right field. Manmano chases it, and it will drop in the bullpen. Looks like Jackson Blue may be done warming up in left field, but Luke Terbeek is starting to stretch and get ready to go as well. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Corral. Larks have failed to take advantage of opportunities today, and they will not have a chance to do anything on this one as it drops between the legs of Ackerman, rolls behind the umpire, and we'll have a full count to Sam Corral, his 2nd full count of the day. Schmidt gets his lead at first, looks at Nankus. Nankus looks back, looks at Corral, looks at Schmidt, and goes home. The payoff pitch with Schmidt taking off. Sent to center field. Tyler Sass will make the catch, and Schmidt goes back to first base. And that's the first time Sam Corral will be out today.
The first baseman, Cade Brown.
Cade Brown to the dish. The first baseman 0 for 2, reaching on a fielder's choice and striking out in the 2nd and 4th inning. Got to do something with that runner at first. Larks have left 5 different guys on base today and are down by 1. They had the bases loaded in the last inning. They were gifted 3 walks but couldn't do anything. First pitch here to Cade Brown, swung on it and lined back 0-1. Cade Brown, in his last summer league, had 11 RBIs in 87 at-bats, scored 11 runs, and had 25 total bases. One and 1 count as this one misses the zone to Cade Brown. Larks won yesterday 21-2. This is game 2 of this series. Larks looking to sweep and not split. And then the Larks will have one more game here at Larks Park tomorrow against the Junction City Brigade. They'll have 2 days off and then take their talents to Colorado. The 1-1 to Brown. It'll bounce away from Ackerman. And after Nankus pays a lot of attention to Schmidt, he throws a wild pitch that allows Schmidt to move to second base. And there's a 2-1 count. Runner in scoring position with just 1 away. Brown, a dangerous hitter, yet to get a hit today, but has been aboard. Got aboard 3 times in his second to last game, and then in his last game yesterday, got aboard 1 time and scored 1 run. The 2-1 to Brown, swung on early and sent off the Larks mesh protector in front of their dugouts. Wind still slowly moving in from center field. Lights are on here at Larks Park. 8:41 p.m. here in Hayes, Kansas. Schmidt to lead at second base. Nankis shakes off his signs from Ackerman and will go home. Schmidt bouncing around. Nankis looks at him and goes home. The 2-2 swung on a miss. And Cade Brown is down on strikes for the second time against Nankis. And that is Connor Nankis' sixth strikeout of the day through 5 2/3.
The shortstop, Cortland Lawson.
To bring up Cortland Lawson. Lost in the day 0 for 0, 2 walks. Got to first in the second inning, was left there. And then got to second in the fourth inning and was left there as well. Nankis again. It's paid a lot of attention to Schmidt in this inning. Goes home to a dangerous hitter and gets Lawson to swing above one. No balls and a strike to number 22. Due up for the Sox in the 7th inning will be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, Beatty, Adams, and Fullerton. Been a quick moving game here. Nankis does take a lot of time between pitches, but hasn't allowed a whole lot of base runners, and that's been part of the why the Larks have been moving along here in this one. This one will bounce off Ackerman, does keep it semi-close to him, and will look Schmidt back to second base. 1 ball and a strike to Lawson. Lawson stands at 6'2", gets his frame back in the right-hander's batter's box. And we'll wait his third pitch from Nankis in this AB. Swings at this one, hits it hard down the left field line. It's to the right side of third base. Grant Schmidt sprints home from third, and Cortland Lawson picks up another RBI in the second game. Clutch AB right there, and we are tied, and Grant Schmidt scores thanks to Cortland Lawson. 2 outs, and the Larks finally bring home a runner for the first time since the first inning, and it's a tie ball game here from North Central Kansas. For Cortland Lawson, that is RBI number 5 in 7 plate appearances, and for Grant Schmidt, that is his 15th run of the season. That is tied for 4th on the team behind Jackson, Patterson, and Lung. That'll bring up Hutch. Hutchison on the day, 0 for 1 with a walk and a double play. 1-0. Tie ball game. And now if the Larks choose to bring in Jackson Blue for the 7th, which I think they will, it'll eliminate Divis from picking up a decision on the mound in this ball game. Long look at Lawson at first base. Nankis goes home. Since he's a southpaw, can really look at them like that and then go home. This one's hit to right center field. Cortland Lawson will round second, and then third base coach Frank Leo will hold him there. Nunes dives for that one. The throw from Manmano a little wild back into the infield. The Larks have 2 straight hits. That's their first 2 hits since the 3rd inning, and Hutchison picks up his first of the day. Lawson to second base for the 2nd time today. That brings us to Leo Gemini, Larks rallying here with 2 outs. For Palmer Hutchison, that is his 8th single of the season and his 15th hit. This will bring up Leo Gemini and sends us between Lands and Nunes. Loss is going to be sent home from second, and the throw will be cut off by Lands. Larks take a 3-2 lead thanks to Leo Gemini. And the Larks not giving up here. Lawson, who has an RBI, now scores another run, has scored a run, and drove in at least 1 run in each of his 2 games as a Lark. Will high-five the entire dugout as he gives the Larks a lead. Leo Gemini just picked up RBI number 14 and breaks his slump. That's 4th on the team in terms of RBI. He's breaking his tie with Sam Crow. And Cortland Lawson just picked up his 4th run scored, and we're going to have a mound visit between Rome and Nankis. So right now we got Hutchison at second base and Geminian at first base. 2 away in the bottom of the 6th. top of the order. 2 on, 2 outs. Grant Long to the dish. Larks having a 3-2 lead, their first lead since the first inning. Long on the day, 1 for 3, with a single. His first delivery in the zone from his fourth look at Nankis, 0-1. Long in this series now 6 for 8. Win 5 for 5 in yesterday's ball game. Had 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, and just as many runs scored. And 2 doubles and 2 home runs and a single. Was just a triple shy of the cycle. Came up with an opportunity to do and complete the cycle, but he hit one hard to right field and went way over the wall. Could have stayed at third and taken a triple, but yeah, he's going to take that home run. Triple doesn't mean the cycle doesn't mean anything right there when there's a home run opportunity. 1 ball and a strike to the second baseman from Arizona. This delivered along just outside, they will say it caught the plate. 1-2 count, a tough call for Long, and now they'll have to protect. Larks have 6 hits, 3 of those in this inning. 3 straight from Lawson, Hutchison, and Jeminian. Jeminian at first, Hutchison at second. 1-2 count to Long. With 2 away, Nankis goes home, the southpaw delivers, and Long will stay alive, sends this one over the grandstand. Terbeek now getting loose in the pen for Hayes. Nankis goes home, the 1-2 again. Just out, they will say caught the plate. That's the same spot that first one was in, and Long will be punched out looking for the second time today. And a strikeout number 7 on the day for Connor Nankis. Larks bring 7 hitters to the plate, leave 2 on but score 2 runs, and they take a 1-run lead to the 7th inning. Top of the 7th, Larks get 3 hits and a walk in the 6th inning, and they score 2 runs to take a 3-2 lead. Top of the 7th, leading off is Josh Beatty. Jackson Blue, the new pitcher in the game. Wyatt Davis in position to get a win. Jackson Blue looking for the hold here. His 1-1 delivery sent over the left side and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike now. So Wyatt Davis finishes his day going 6 innings, 80 pitches, 4 hits, 9 strikeouts, and 2 earned runs. Swing and a miss from Jackson Blue, the 6'5" righty out of the Woodlands, Texas, plays at UTA. Jackson Blue has thrown 16 2/3 innings this year on the mound, has started in 1 game, This is appearance number 6 on the season. Has allowed 10 hits, struck out 12 batters, and has allowed 15 walks. The 1-2 delivery will miss the zone, and we'll have a 2-ball, 2-strike count to Josh Beatty. Beatty, the first baseman, opportunity with a line out and a pop-up. And this one will not get the call for Blue, and it's a full count. Jackson Blue, no stats recorded at UTA this year. The righty was highly recruited out of the Woodlands, Texas. Took his talents to UTA, and will have multiple years of eligibility left. Payoff pitch will be a walk, and it gets past Brady Evans. That's Jackson Blue's 16th walk this season. Has been a problem for a couple of the Larks pitchers this year. And there's a runner at first. The first leadoff runner of the game for the Colorado Sox. That is their first walk of the day. Runner on first with nobody out. That takes us to Trey Adams, the second baseman. He's 2 for 2 in the day with 2 singles with 2 strikes on him. Has scored a 1 run. First pitch to him in the zone from Blue. 0-1 counts. Jackson Blue has gotten 11 leadoff outs and has gotten 33 batters out on 3 pitches or less. This one's lined to the backstop, and he has 2 pitches, both strikes, against Trey Adams, the shortstop from Doane University. So one UTA Maverick hands the ball over to his teammate from UTA. And Davis's day is done. This one a drop in front of Grant Schmidt. And that's the third two-strike single for Trey Adams. And the go-ahead run is now at first base. And Jackson Blue has allowed back-to-back base runners. Moving to second is Josh Beatty. Fullerton to the box now. Fullerton on the day, 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. And this has been the part of the order that's given the Larks trouble. Hitters number 6 and 7 have scored each 1 run, and batter number 8 has driven in 2 runs. This is number 7 right here, and the left fielder looking for his second hit. We'll send this one to left field, making a sliding catch is Cam Pearson. A nice catch for Cam, and that's the first out. Good slide. Pearson saves a hit, and Jackson Blue will go back to the mound, getting his first out of the ballgame. Yarmer to the box now. He drove in 2 runs on a single in the second inning, and then lined out on a beautiful play from Cortland Lawson in the 5th inning. Those 2 singles in this inning were the first hits for Colorado since the 4th inning. They have 5 hits versus Hayes' 6th. Scoreboard reads an 0-1 count here to Yarmer. Jackson Blue will look home. He can and will go from the stretch. The 0-1 delivery grounded right back at him between his legs. Grant Lung lunges forward. It's grown into center field. The throw from Leo Jiminian will pull Brady Evans from home plate. And Jackson Blue has allowed 3 base runners and an earned run. And Wyatt Divis will not get a decision in this game. And we're tied at 3. That's Yarmer's 3rd RBI of the day. And scoring for the first time is Josh Beatty from second base. Adams moves to second. And there's 2 on with 1 out. And the Larks, after holding Colorado's silent through 4 straight innings, have allowed their first run since the second. Terabik is up and moving in the pen. And the first delivery home to Manmano is popped out of play. Manmano at the day, 0 for 2. Yarmer responsible for all 3 runs, driven in all 3 on 2 singles. And hitters number 5 through 7, the order of each scored a run. The 0-1 in the zone, nice slider, no balls and 2 strikes. Jackson Blue, appearance number 6 on the year, and has been good so far in this AB. Nice, and Blue will take time here. And the 0-2 delivery swung on and missed to drop third strike. And Mano will go back to dugout, the second straight strikeout. And Blue will try to end this 7th inning right here. Do it for the Larks, trying to take the lead back in the bottom half will be hitters 2, 3, and 4, Evans, Pearson, and Schmidt. Takes us to the top of the order. This is Nolan Ackerman's 4th AB. He's 0 for 3 on the day. A fly out to Jiminian, a pop-up to Cade Brown, and a ground out to Cortland Lawson. Blue walked his first batter, allowed one single, got a fly out to Cam Pearson, then out a single that scored a run, and then just struck out Mano, and that makes 2 away in the top of the 7th. First delivery here to the catcher, who started in left field yesterday. He sends it out of play. Jackson Blue's gotten quite a few foul balls here in the 7th inning. Got a righty moving up in the pin for Colorado, and we'll see when the Larks, or when the Colorado Sox will bring him in. I think we'll see him in the bottom of this inning. Slider from Blue runs outside. Evans slides to block it, and we have a 1-1 count to the top of the order, Ackerman. Jackson Blue has now thrown 16 pitches, 12 of those strikes, this one not, and it'll be a 2-1 count to Nolan Ackerman. Six total hits, 4 off of Divis, 2 off of Blue for the Colorado Sox. The 2-1 delivery home, swung on and popped over to the right side, and Brady Evans sprints, slows up, and watches it go out of play. 2-2 count. Blue 1 strike away from sending us to the 7th inning stretch. Blue has started out each batter with a first pitch strike, but is yet to finish this inning. Although 2-2 to Nolan Ackerman. The 2-2 grounded to Palmer Hutchison, waits on it, goes to second, long tag second, and that'll end the 7th inning. The Sox get a run. Palmer Hutchison saves a run right there, and we are tied as we go to the 7th inning stretch on Larks Network.
To the ball game.
Bottom of the 7th we go. Brady Evans will lead it off. Evans on the day 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Second delivery to Brady Evans will miss the zone. New pitcher into the game for the Colorado Sox is Trevor Nolan out of San Mateo Community College. Throws 2 straight balls after Connor Nankis completes his day. Nolan gets a swing out of Evans here down the left field line, but foul. 2 balls and a strike to the catcher from Murray State College. Pitch number 4 to Evans, swing and a miss. 2-2 counts. Trevor Nolan from Parker, Colorado. It's a class of 2020 graduates. Unranked by perfect game. Tie game in the bottom of the 7th, 3-3. This delivery to Brady Evans outside, and it's a full count. The Larks win tonight. They'll sweep the series and win 3 games against the Sox and win this full season series 3-1. But if they lose tonight, they'll split this series, and they split the series earlier, and each team will go 2-2 against each other. And Brady Evans will swing and miss at this one and be down on strikes for the first time tonight. That's the first strikeout for the first batter he faced, or for Nolan. One away as we go to Cam Pearson, the 3-hole for Hayes. Pearson on the day 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly, a ground out, and a strike. Oh, they will say, excuse me, that was on me right there. All signs showed a strikeouts. So 2-2 to Evans, and he fouls this one off. So Connor Nankis in this game goes 6 innings, throws 125 pitches, allows 6 hits, 3 earned runs, walks 5, and strikes out 7. Another pitch here to Brady Evans, swung on and popped out of play. So we're going to go to AB here to start this inning. Pearson on deck with Schmidt in the hole. Just about now hitting the 2-hour mark in this game from Hayes, Kansas. Larks looking to take the lead here in the bottom half of the 7th. The 2's delivery again, swung on and missed. And this one will be a strikeout for Brady Evans now. Almost takes Nolan to 10 pitches on this AB. And that'll bring up Pearson. Pearson has one of the 3 RBIs on the day for the Larks. The other 2 come from Hutchison and Lawson. Excuse me, Jeminian and Lawson. No balls and a strike to Pearson, 1 away in the bottom of the 7th. Hayes and Colorado tied. Tabrique moving in the pen. I think we'll probably see him in the 8th, and then Cade Brown in the 9th. The 0-1 comes 0-2 as Pearson sends this one to the backstop. And we'll have to protect the plate against Trevor Nolan. Pearson has had a great season this year. Led the Larks in total bases last year. Leads the team in several stat categories this season. Second on the team in RBIs, actually tied with Grant Schmidt for RBIs. He's in second place for runs scored, and he's going to go down on strikes in this one and go back to the dugout. Nolan has struck out 2 through his first 2 batters faced. That brings us to cleanup hitter Grant Schmidt, who scored the tying run in the 6th inning, has nobody on, 2 outs after walking in his last appearance. That is the 11th time Cam Pearson has gone down on strikes this season. Grant Schmidt picked up his 4th walk of the season, his last at-bat. His first delivery, he swings and misses, 0-1. Due up for the Sox in the 8th inning will be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Sass, Nunez, and Lanz. Larks have scored 24 runs over the course of these 2 games, but 21 of those yesterday and just 3 today. This one misses the zone to Schmidt, 1-1 counts. Nolan goes to school in California, pitches against the guy that goes to school in Hayes, Kansas, and gets a swing and a miss down to Schmidt. The 1-2 to Schmidt. Outside, he checks his hands. And Schmidt did not go around. 2 balls and 2 strikes. No stats from Nolan from San Mateo this year. And this one, 2 batters faced, 2 strikeouts, looking for number 3, the 2-2 delivery, high and outside. He loses his hat and loses command of the count as a 3-2 to Schmidt. Schmidt in his first 2 at-bats struck out and flew out and got aboard in the 6th, looking to continue that streak in his second at-bat in 2 innings. Nolan, righty versus righty from the windup, swung on, or no swing, is in the zone, and it, my bad on there. Outside the zone, Corey Burkhart didn't give Nolan the call. He thought he had it, and so did the Sox infield. They started to come off the field, but Grant Schmidt will pick up his 2nd walk in 2 innings, and the go-ahead run is at first base as we go to the 5-hole. Sam Crowell, who has a single to walk on the day. Sam looking at the Larks back in the lead here. Wind has died down, and so it won't affect any balls hit into the outfield. The first delivery to Crowell will bounce off of Ackerman. The throw to second will get wide of Adams. Nunez is there perfectly to back it up. Couldn't have been in a better spot. Saves the ball from going into the outfield, and Grant Schmidt is in scoring position. And there is a 1-0 count to Sam Crowell, the designated hitter. Tensions were high going into yesterday's ballgame between the 2 teams, and then after the Larks dominated 21-2, there was a lot less talking going on between the 2 teams, and today I really haven't noticed much. But the 1-0 to Crowell will miss the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Got to be careful with these 2 next pitches to Crowell. Brown on deck if Crowell continues to inning. The 2-0 to Crowell, high and inside. He moves his head out of the way and has a 3-0 count. He's taking all the way on this one, and it misses inside. Nolan doesn't get the call he likes. Looks at the umpire and puts Crowell aboard. That's the 3rd time Crowell's been aboard in 4 plate appearances today. 2 walks and a single. 2 on, 2 out in the bottom of the 7th in a tie game. Cord Jackson will run for Sam Crowell. For Sam Crowell, that was walk number 8. And for the Larks in this ball game, that was walk number 6. To this, Cade Brown. Brown on the day, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, but he reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd, got to second base, and then when he moved to 3rd, Hutchison grounded out on a double play that got out him and Lawson, and that ended the 2nd inning. Brown looking to get aboard here again. First delivery, a breaking ball, misses high, 1-0. Schmidt gets his lead at second. Jackson at first. Nobody there to hold him. The 1-0 to Cade Brown. Misses outside, and no one hasn't got the calls, and even Trey Adams at second base tosses his hand in the air and looks at the umpire, and they are not happy with the calls given to Nolan. Nolan takes a couple looks at Schmidt, goes home, and the 2-0 gets a swing and a miss. That one, umpire won't need to make a decision on. Struck out Evans and Pearson, and then walked Schmidt and Crowell, and has been unhappy with his command in the umpire in this inning. Has thrown 25 pitches, 11 of those in the strike zone. 2-1 count with 2 away. Brown swings on it and sends it out of play, and now he'll have to protect the plate. Larks have left 7 guys on base in this game. As for the Colorado Sox, they left just 2 guys on. This is the Larks' 4th time through the order. We're about halfway through it. That's right, the 6th spot in the order. And Brown will look to do something on this 2-2 delivery. It's a fastball way outside. Had a ton of velocity, but not much control. And now we'll have another full count. And this pitch, a big one in the course of deciding this game. You walk Cade Brown, you bring a dangerous Cortland Lawson to the plate. But if you give him something good to hit, you're going to regret it. So big pitch here from Nolan. And he'll go. Payoff pitch from the stretch. Runners will take off. The righty goes home. It's a slider that will catch the outside part of the plate. And Cade Brown will be punched out. That's a 3rd straight AB that Cade Brown goes down looking. He'll be frustrated as he goes back to the dugout. Larks leave 2 on, and we're tied as we move to the 8th inning on Larks Network.
You're tuned in to the Larks Network.
Top of the 8th, Jackson Blue back to the mound for his 2nd inning of work. Leading off for the Colorado Sox will be Tyler Sass. Trevor Nolan strikes out 3. Strikes out the first 2, allows 2 walks. Palmer Hutchison's going to barehand this one, and the throw to Cade Brown in time. A great play from Hutchison, who's been the Larks' most consistent defensive player in the infield this year. And that is a beautiful throw and a beautiful barehanded grab from Palmer Hutchison, and that'll get the leadoff out in the 8th. A big one right there, and Jackson Blue will be thankful for Hutchison on that play. 1 away, bases empty in the top of the 8th. Larks in the 8th inning, 2 walks, but struck out 3 times. Left 2 on and weren't able to do anything with the given opportunities. This one's going to be over Blue's head. It rolls to Lawson, and it's under his glove. It'll be hit number 7 if it is officially ruled a hit. I think it should be. Not sure the throw would have got there in time anyway, and it is ruled hit number 7 for the Colorado Sox. So Nunez is aboard for the first time today. He's 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, and the go-ahead run is at first base. Nunez was the big player in Colorado against the Larks. Had that home run that really changed the whole momentum of the game in the 8-9 Larks loss. But the Larks since then have won 2 straight games against the Sox. But we'll need something here in the 8th to keep them silent and keep the score at 3-3. Terbeek is warming up in the bullpen. Has been up there for about 2 innings. So whenever Keith Harper calls upon him. Fastball from Blue over the outside part of the plate for a called strike against Ethan Lands. Lands, just like Nunez in his first 3 at-bats, struck out each time. 0-1 to the third baseman. slider that was a curveball from Blue. Misses the zone inside. Jackson Blue, his fastball has had all the control on it that he wants, but his off speed and his slider have not had the control that we've seen from him. They kind of been all over the place. And this one, I thought hit lands right there. Evans secures it in his glove, and we have a 2-1 count. Larks due up in the bottom of the 8th to try to score some runs will be Lawson, Hutchison, and Jeminian. Dangerous 7, 8, 9. Larks 1 through 9 can hit. The 2-1 here to Lands found out of play. Opposite of yesterday for the Sox when their top of the order was the one that was getting the hits, and the bottom of the order was the one striking out. Lands, Sass, and Nunez have combined for 8 strikeouts, but the bottom of the order has 3 RBIs and 3 runs scored. Lands will take time here, and Blue will look in, gets the signs from Brady Evans. Long playing close to the second base bag, looking for a double play. The 2-2 slider that Brady Evans does a great job of blocking right there. A tough one, could have been an easy base for Nunez from first, but Evans saves a run from getting in scoring position. And we'll get a payoff pitch here. Jackson Blue struck out 1 guy in the 7th and allowed 2 hits and a walk. And he will walk his second batter of the day, and there's 2 on. Nunez to second, Lands at first. 2 on, 1 out, and the top of the 8th.
The first baseman, number 7, Josh Beatty.
And Keith Harper will come out and have a chat with Jackson Blue. We'll take a quick pause on Larks Network and be right back for the continuation of the 8th inning. Top of the 8th, 2 on, 1 out. No pitcher in the game is Luke Teerbeek from the Netherlands. The first batter he faces is Josh Beatty with 2 on, and the first pitch will be lined out of play. No balls and a strike to the cleanup hitter. Excuse me, the 5th batter in the order. Beatty went 0-2 against Divis and then walked against Jackson Blue to start the 7th inning and came around to score the tying run. Terabika, a knuckleballer, throws one right there in the zone for a called strike, too. Terabika, 6'1 freshman from Arizona Western. And this last year for the Matadors, 5-0 through 9 appearances, struck out 27 and walked just 6. The 0-2, and time is called as Terabika is almost complete with his windup. Still throws the pitch as he should. If you hold up right there, you really risk injury as a pitcher. But we will stay 0-2. Jackson Blue goes a third of an inning in relief, 28 pitches, allows 3 hits, 1 earned run, and walks 2 batters, striking out 1 guy. The runners on base, his responsibility in the earned run column should they score. The 0-2 just outside. Nice pitch from Terabik, 1 to waste, and doesn't get a swing out of Beatty, the first baseman. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 away. This is Terabik's 5th appearance of the season. His 3rd in relief. No record. This one's grounded into left field. It goes to Zach Henry, who's now playing in left field. And the go-ahead run moves up 90 feet, and the bases are loaded with only 1 away. Second single of the inning. Roberto Nunez at third, Ethan Lands at second, and Josh Beatty at first. Terabik has thrown 16 2/3 innings. No decisions, has 1 save on the season. Has allowed 18 hits, 5 earned runs. Hasn't walked a single guy, which is so rare considering he's a knuckleballer. And has struck out 20 guys. Has an ERA of 2.70 and a whip of 1.08. And gets a first pitch strike to Trey Adams, who's 3 for 3 on the day with 3 singles. Does better in the count with 2 strikes on him. At least that's what the record shows today. So the record would show this one wouldn't matter, but his first hit on the day with 1 strike on him happens right here, and he gets his 4th single. The ball is wide of Cade Brown. Evans wasn't there to back it up, and another run will score. 2 runs score on the single and the overthrow. That's going to be an error, and it's a 5-3 lead for the Songs, and errors have been the thing that cost the Larks this year. The bases are still loaded, and Trey Adams is now 4 for 4 with an RBI. Nunez scores his first run of the day, and Land scores his first run of the day. Hitters 3 through 7 in the order of each scored a run.
The left fielder, number 14, Max Fullerton.
Beatty at third, Trey Adams at second, and it's an error officially for Brady Evans, and the Sox take a 5-3 lead. So get a quick pause as Keith Harper's out of the dugout for a mound visit. Top of the 8th. 2 on, both in scoring position with still only 1 out. 4 straight Sox have been aboard. 3 singles and a walk. The first pitch here to Max Fullerton. Popped to the right side. Cade Brown in foul territory records the catch, and the runner starts to break home. Evans will record the catch from Brown, and going back to third base is Beatty. Good decision for him to try like he's going to go home and at least get some sort of throw to Brown. Could always advance home on an error or go back to second at the third if the throw is accurate. So that's out number 2, and Fullerton is now 1 for 4 on the day. Terabik gets his first out on the mound. Larks are down by 2. 2 on for Wyatt Yarmer, who drove in the first run of the game and has driven in the first 3 total runs for the Colorado Sox. 2 singles and 3 RBIs. He has an 0-1 count here against Luke Terabik. His first look at Luke. Luke pitched against the Sox on June 12th. This one's going to be grounded over to the left side. Hutchison's not going to be able to make a play on this one. It's off his glove, and that's going to be an RBI single for Wyatt Yarmer. Scoring is Beatty for his second time today. And Colorado comes in this inning tied 3-3, and they double the runs, and they have a 6-3 lead, and things are collapsing for the Larks. Larks never have trailed early in the games. They always collapse. And the 3 times that they've been behind in late games this year, it's been in late. They were down against the Game Day Saints 11-1 going into the 3rd inning, I believe, but they came back and won 18-16. But in their first loss of the year was when Luke Terbeek started the game. He went 5 2/3, allowed 7 hits, 2 earned runs, struck out 5. But then he gave the Larks an 8-3 lead going to the 8th inning. And then Castellucci and Trey Riggs came in relief, allowed a combined 6 runs, and the Larks lost it 9-8. And then the Larks' second loss was in extra innings against the Boulder Collegians. They were tied 5-5. We went to the 11th inning. Larks had a bunch of errors, pitchers not hitting the zone, and they won 11-5 on our turf. So we'll get the pinch hitter for Kane Manmano. Do believe that is Brody Marino, who was scheduled to start in Yarmer's spot today and was a last-minute lineup change. Sends this one off the inside of his bat to Hutchison. Hutchison fields this one, throws to Brown, and the Larks leave 2 on base, but they allow 3 runs, and they're down by 3. As we go to the bottom of the 8th, Hayes down to their final 6 outs. Bottom of the 8th, Trevor Nolan back to the mound. Leading off for Hayes is Cortland Lawson. Swings at the first pitch from Nolan and will miss it. 0-1. Lawson on the day, 1 for 1 with a single, 2 walks, while 1 scored and a run driven in. Nolan on the mound struck out his first 2 batters. It was Evans and Pearson. Then walked Schmidt and Crown and then struck out Brown looking. It was the 3rd time Brown had gone down looking today. 1 ball and a strike now to Lawson. Hutchison on deck with Jimmy to end the hole, due up for Hayes. Down to their final 6 outs, down by 3. from the windup. No one goes home. Misses above the letters to Cortland Lawson. 2-1 counts. Larks looking to rally here in the 8th. We'll go to the top of the order after the bottom 3. And the top of the order has also had their struggles in this game. Larks have just 6 hits in this game. I think they had multiple 6-hit innings yesterday. 2-1 at the knees of Lawson. They will call it a strike, 2. 2-2 count. Nobody out, nobody on in the bottom of the 8th. 6-3 lead for the Colorado Sox. Two delivery from Lawson outside, and the Sox infield did not like that call. We'll get a payoff pitch to Lawson. He's already walked 2 times. Has yet to strike out today. Lawson struck out once yesterday in his 3-for-4 effort when he had 2 home runs. One of them was a grand slam. This will be his 3rd walk of the day and on the season. And he is aboard. Larks have another leadoff runner. What will they do with it? And we go to Palmer Hutchison, the 3rd baseman. 1 for 2 today with a single and a walk. Hutchison has been aboard in his last 2 ABs, walked in the 4th and then singled in the 6th. Larks always competitive and can come back from any deficit, but they got to put the bat on the ball in this inning and move guys. They kept the line moving yesterday, put up 21 runs in 6 innings. Actually, those were all in the first 5 innings, but today haven't had near that success. Hutchison pops this one up behind second base. Adams moves in the outfield and we record out number 1. Cortland Lawson goes back to second base.
The Larks center fielder, Leo Jimia.
They'll bring up Leo Jiminian, singled in his last at bat. That was in the 6th inning. Before that, he was 0 for 2. Picked up an RBI also in that 6th inning. Brought home Cortland Lawson. He was at first base. Tying run on deck. Go-ahead run in the hole for Hayes. Nolan looks in, gets a sign from his catcher, Ackerman. Looks at Lawson and will check on him. The throw high, and he slides in safely. Nolan has thrown 1 1/3 on 37 pitches, 3 walks, and just as many strikeouts. He's thrown strikes on under 50% of his pitches, but he hasn't allowed a runner past third or past second base. We got people walking in front of our camera again. 0-1 to Jiminian, the center fielder from France. And the delivery in, he cuts it, and it bounces off the Larks' wall. No balls and 2 strikes to Jiminian. Long on deck with Evans in the hole. Owen shakes off a sign from Ackerman. Looks at Lawson again. And the delivery home, off speed above the letters. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jiminian, a 5'9" righty out of St. Lo, France, headed to Eastern Tennessee State with 3 years of eligibility left. It's delivery just outside, and it's a 2-2 count. No one hasn't gotten a lot of the calls. All of his pitchers have relatively been very close to the zone. So that's good on the mound. It keeps the hitters guessing, and it's tough to take them when they're that close, but Larks have been getting the calls. Lawson at first, and they'll check on him. The throw is wild, but snagging it is Beatty and jumps over Lawson. He saves Lawson from getting into scoring position right there. Lawson gets his lead at first. And the delivery to Jiminian, swing and a miss. He loses his bat and is down on strikes for the 2nd time today. And that one was not Leo's best at bat. And it was a bad way to end it. 2-way run around first as we go to the top of the order. Grant Long, he's 1 for 4 on the day with a single. This will be his first look at Trevor Nolan. Due up in the 9th inning for the Sox. At the top of the order, Ackerman, Sass, and Nunez. First delivery here to Grant Lung, missed the zone 1-0. Grant Lung has 18 hits this year. Number 18 was in the 3rd inning. Lawson looking to score for the second time tonight from first base. The 1-0 to Lung. Swinging a ground ball over to the right side. It is right at Beatty, and he will tap on first base. And Lung will hobble back to home plate. And that is out number 3. Hope Grant's okay as we move to the 9th. Hayes down 6-3. Top of the 9th, Luke Terabek backs the mound after replacing Blue with 1 out in the 8th inning. Comes in and throws a first pitch strike to Nolan Ackerman, the catcher. Second delivery will be grounded to the third base coach, Blake Rome. New balls and 2 strikes to Ackerman, who is 0 for 4 on the day. And went 0 for 3 against Davis and 0 and 1 against Jackson Blue. His first look at Terabek. Fastball high and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Sox have had 10 hits, 2 walks, 5 runs, and they left 4 guys on in this game. The 1-2 from Terabek. Knuckleball lined back. And Terabek 1 strike away from his first strikeout of the day. Terabek, in his Dutch Major League career, 37 appearances, played for 2 teams over 4 years, had a whip of 1.50 and an ERA of 4.32. He goes from the windup, the 1-2 delivery from Terabek, fastball lone outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sass on deck with Nunez in the hole for the Colorado Sox. This is a league game, so Larks need to score 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th if they want to stay in first place. This one's popped up, and it'll go over the back screen and into the crowd. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, nobody on in the top of the 9th. The Sox have a 6-3 lead. Terabek, the Dutchman, will go from the windup, the 2-2 delivery, swung on, and again Ackerman fouls this one off the inside of his bat to stay alive. He worked a good at bat in this one. Terabek pitch counts. now sits at 17, 14 strikes. Has thrown 2 of his 3 balls in this at-bats. It's hit hard into left center field. Jiminian races back, lunges at it, and will make the catch in left center field. Nice play from the French center fielder, and it saves an extra base hit. And there's one away in the top of the 9th. We go to Tyler Sass. Sass on the day 0 for 4. 2 strikeouts, 2 groundouts, 1 to Hutchison, 1 to Lawson. And it'll be his first look against Terbeek. Grounded out and struck out twice against Divis, and then grounded out against Jackson Blue. Terbeek from the windup. This delivery of fastball grounded down the first base line, but fell. No balls and a strike. Larks defensively in the 9th inning. It's Zach Henry in left field. Leo Jiminian in center. Grant Schmidt in right field. Katie Brown at first base. Grant Long at second. Cortland Lawson at shortstop, Palmer Hutchison in the hot corner, and then Brady Evans is catching. Peak will get back on the mound, an 0-1 count against Sass. Go from the windup, the 0-1 delivery, swung on and hit hard to Cortland Lawson. The backhand will snag it. The throw to Brown in time. A nice play from Cortland Lawson. And 2 great defensive plays for the Larks in the 9th make it 2 outs. Nice backhand and a nice throw.
Now batting the shortstop, number 21, Roberto Nunez.
With Roberto Nunez, 1 for 4 with a run scored. Was the first run of the 8th inning. Sox got 2 runs in the 2nd inning and then got their last 4 in the past 2 innings. And Nunez is down again. Davis gave him a hat trick in the 1st, 3rd, and 6th. And then in his first look at Jackson Blue, singled. Knuckleball from Terbeek in the zone for a called strike 2 on the shortstop. Do it for the Larks. Down to their final 3 outs is Evans, Henry, and Schmidt. This one will miss the zone. It's a 1-2 count. Terbeek shakes his head and gets back on the rubber, and will go from the windup. Nods his head at Evans. This 1-2 delivery, and just slow. Crowd thought he had a punch out, and said it's a 2-2 count. Neither team has liked some of the locations and calls in this game. The 2-2 with 2 outs from Terbeek. Swing and a foul tipped, and they will say he didn't tip it, and it'll be a drop third strike, and Nunez slides in safely at first on a drop third strike. That's his 4th strikeout of the day. So he's strikes out for 4th time, but is aboard for the 2nd time in the past 2 innings.
The third baseman, number 17, Ethan Lamb.
This will be Ethan Lance on the dish. 0 for 3 against Davis, 0 for 0 against Blue. Was the last batter, Blue face. He walked him, and then Lance came around to score. Was run number 2 of that 3-run 8th. Check over at Nunez, not in time. Every time a runner gets aboard with Terbeek on the mound, he's going to check over him before he throws the first pitch to the next batter. It's a guarantee. First delivery here to Lands. Got the outside part of the plate. No balls and a strike. Lands will pop this one up and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Larks will look to rally and score at least 3 runs at the bottom of the 9th. It'll start with the 2-hole and run through the cleanup spots, and then we'll see what happens from there. Terbeek shakes off a sign from Evans. Nods on number 2. Goes home. The 0-2 delivery. A check swing. Evans blocks it. No appeal. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Beatty on deck if the Sox need him. Beek looks home. The 1-2 just tied. The fans thought they had it, and Terbeek thought he had it. And home plate umpire Corey Burkhart gets some boos from the Hayes faithful. Still good attendance. Pretty packed here at the ballpark, even on a Sunday night, almost at 10 p.m. here, with the team down by 3. And that will be the golden sombrero for Ethan Land. Strikes out for the 4th time today. Terbeek allows 1 runner, strikes out 2. And for Terbeek on the rubber, that is strikeout number 22 this season. And it sends us to the bottom of the 9th. Hayes looking to rally and score 3 runs on Larks Network.
Meet me down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Bottom of the 9th we go. Brady Evans will lead it off. Larks down by 3. Henry and Pearson due up for the Larks. No, excuse me. Henry and Schmidt. First delivery to Evans in the zone. 0-1 on the catcher from Murray State College. Evans on the day 1 for 4. Strikeout and a ground down to fielder's choice, and has 3 at-bats. Doubled in the first inning and scored the first run of the game. And since then, hasn't gotten anything. 1 ball and 1 strike to Evans. This delivery to him, a slider caught the outside part of the plate. 1-2. Owen shakes off a couple signs. And we'll go from the windup to Brady Evans. This is his 3rd inning of work, and throws a 4th pitch fastball. There's a lot of speed on his fastball, but it seems the more velocity he tries to put on it, the less control he's had on it, which would be logical for most every pitcher. 2-2 to Evans. Looking to get aboard and get the inning rolling for Hayes. And he sends this one high to left field. Fullerton moves in from left field to left center. Sass runs in, and Fullerton will be the one who calls him off. And it'll be an out number 1 in the bottom of the 9th, and Evans is back to the dugout. They'll bring up Zach Henry to the box. Zach Henry spent the past few innings in left field. And we'll get it corrected up here in the press box. He's the only one who had that Henry was in the game. And this will be his first at-bat. Pearson finishes his day 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and groundouts. And an RBI on a sacrifice fly in the first inning. 1-0 on Henry with 1 away and the bases empty. Zach Henry on the season batting .270 with an on-base percentage of .417. 10 hits, 11 runs, and 9 RBIs. Yesterday, Zach Henry came in relief of Leo Jeminian in center field. Scored 2 runs, 1 as a courtesy runner, 1 after he got a hit. Also drove in a run and picked up a walk. 2-0 is the count to Zach Henry out of UTA. Swings and misses at this one and has a 2-1 count. Nolan will go from the windup to Evans. And, excuse me, not Evans, that's Zach Henry, and it's above the letters. 3-1 count. Close call for Nolan, and Evans sold it. Schmidt on deck with Crow in the hole for Hayes. It looks like Cord Jackson will hit for the DH, Sam Crow. Hitter's count delivery to Evans, a swing and a miss, and he has a full count. Nankis started the game for the Colorado Sox, went 6 innings through 125 pitches. Nolan has come in, thrown 2 1/3, 52 pitches. No hits, no earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and 3 walks. All 3 walks were in that 7th inning. It was his first inning on the mound. Excuse me, 2 of them. This one's going to be lined in the gap between Lands and Nunez. It'll drop in front of Fullerton, and it's a 1-out base hit, and the tying run comes to the hole. Comes to the on-deck circle. So Henry now 1 for 1 today, and he has speed, but I don't know if Larks are going to be risky with him. With the situation at hand, I wouldn't. Or maybe you do. Maybe you do steal him and try to get some momentum for the team. He's at first and has thrown a lot of bases. But to the box now is Grant Schmidt. Started off the day 0 for 2. And since then has walked 2 times and scored a run. First delivery to Schmidt behind on this one, 0-1. Schmidt is 6'3" junior from Hastings, Nebraska, goes to Fort Hays State. He has an 0-1 count on him, and he gets a swing and a miss. He's down the count 0-2. Cord Jackson is on deck with Cade Brown in the hole for Hayes. No balls, 2 strikes. This delivery to Schmidt, a fastball outside, 1-2. Larks 2-1 against the Sox this year. They got to score 3 runs on 2 outs in order to not split the season series with this team. Larks showed their potential yesterday, winning 21-2. And this one will run outside off the turf. 2 balls and 2 strikes after being down 0-2. Schmidt has taken 2 straight balls, and the count is tied up. Larks led 1-0. Going to the second, Sox took a 2-1 lead in the second. Then the 6th inning, Hayes scored 2 runs to put them up 3-2. And then 4 unanswered runs in the 7th and the 8th makes it a 6-3 ball game. This delivery to Schmidt will catch the inside corner. He thought it was inside, but he's back to dugout on his 2nd strikeout looking on the day. 2 outs, runner at first. Cord Jackson to the dish.
Now batting for the Larks, number 9, Cord Jackson.
So Sam Crowell finishes his day with 2 walks and a single. Jackson comes in and pinch hits here. Jackson this season batting .300 flat, OBP of .404, and has an OPS of .979. 1-0 to Cord Jackson. Has 12 hits on the season and 40 at-bats. Jackson was the replacement for Palmer Hutchison yesterday. 1 at-bat, scored 2 runs after he courtesy ran. This one inside, swings in it, and sends it over the grandstand. 1 ball and a strike to the shortstop from Ontario, Canada. Jackson, 5'11" freshman, headed to Nebraska, where he'll join fellow Lark Tyler Palmer to play for the Cornhuskers. The 1-1 off the glove of Ackerman, and Henry moves into scoring position. Still a 2-1 count now to Court Jackson. Brown on deck with Lawson in the hole for Hayes. Lawson has been aboard 4 times today. Cade Brown is 0 for 4 today. 2-1 to Court Jackson. A fastball misses the outside low corner. Hitters count for the shortstop. Actually, the DH tonight has played shortstop in every game that he's appeared in this season. 3-1 count, 2 away, runner at second. This delivery home to Jackson will be at the letters, or just above the letters, according to the home plate umpire. And it's a walk in. Trevor Nolan unhappy with the call, and the Larks have 2 on. Henry at second, Jackson at first. Both guys with speed, and coming up to the plate is Cade Brown, who's due for a hit today. For Court Jackson, that is just his 6th walk of the season. And the tying run comes to the plate in the bottom of the 9th. 2 away, Hayes down 6-3. His delivery outside, 1-0 to Cade Brown, and the crowd starting to feel a sense of a comeback starting here. This delivery late on the swing is Cade Brown. He sends it back. 1 ball and a strike. Cade Brown has struck out looking in his past 3 at-bats. Big RBI opportunity for him. He has just 2 recorded RBIs on the season. 1-1. And no one goes home. Gets a check swing from Cade Brown, and they say he wins. Larks down to their final strike. Big situation here for the Larks. Won their first 4 games, dropped 1 against the Sox, won their next 7, dropped 1 against the Collegians, and have won their last game. This one's grounded slow over to the right side. That is Adams at second base will move to his left and record the out, tossing it to Beatty, and the Larks will drop their 2nd game and their past 3. So the Larks will finish their day with 7 hits. They walk 8 times, score 3 runs, leave 12 on base. As for the Sox, they leave 5 guys on the base, score 6 runs, get 2 walks and 10 hits. The Larks split the series here with the Colorado Sox. It's their last meeting of the season. And the Larks 1-1 in this series against them, 1-1 back a couple weeks ago in Colorado. Larks will be back tomorrow against the Junction City Brigade. It'll be a 1-game series, and then the Larks will have 2 days off. You can catch that game. First pitch at 7 p.m. Central Time right here on Larks Network. Picking up the loss for Hayes is Jackson Blue. After Wyatt Davis goes 6 straight innings, Larks decide to pull him after only 80 pitches. Blue comes in, throws 1 1/3, picks up his first loss of the season. He's now 1-1, and the Larks fall to 12-13 on the season. They're 7-2 in Rocky Mountain Baseball League play. Their only 2 losses in league play are from the Colorado Sox. Still in first place in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. They've won 8 of their last 10. The Sox are now 5-6 in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. They're in 3rd place after being in 6th place the last time the Larks played them. So that'll do it for this game. This has been Carson Ackerman on the call. Thank you for tuning in to Larks Network. We'll see you tomorrow night, first pitch at 7 p.m. Central Time for Game 1 of 1 against the Junction City Brigade. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you for tuning in and have a good night.